smell that? It smells like another Mariax video.
Wow, I can smell that actually.
Wow. All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am back with the boy Udisoft. It's just the two amigos because Copper and Damon have left us forever, so I'm very sad.
Rest in peace.
But anyway, today we are reacting to a plane that disappeared and landed 37 years late. Now, I saw this video on my recommended and I was like, I need to watch this, but I didn't watch it. I waited for Mariax, and I'm here with Udi and we're gonna get straight into it.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Flight 914. Please fasten your seatbelts and observe the no
914.
smoking sign. We will
So
take off in
creepy.
5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't like
When
this.
we're at our cruising altitude,
What are these random
we will be
people? Like, where do they get these images?
Our
Yeah.
flight will take 37 years.
They look like old models.
I wish you a pleasant trip. What would you do if you went on a vacation to another city and suddenly found yourself in another country altogether? I guess more adventurous types would even enjoy such a change of plans.
Hey, wouldn't they
But
just run out
most
of fuel?
us would be confused. Anyway,
Yeah.
I bet even the most reckless of
What's
adventurers
this music? It's like,
would at least raise an eyebrow if told
listen,
they'd
like
flown
absolute
Club,
gangster
bro.
almost
music.
half a century. On July 2nd, 1955,
Oh, I didn't like that.
Pan American Flight 914 made its way from New York to Miami, Florida. It was
Okay.
a fine, sunny day, and 57 passengers on board the plane were looking forward to seeing the warm
Are these the
beaches
actual
and palm
passengers?
trees of Florida. The plane took off without trouble.
really
but
doubt
3
it.
hours later, when it should have already landed at the destination airport, it was nowhere to be seen. Radars of the control
What?
tower in Miami didn't show any approaching aircraft, and no distress signals were received either. When air traffic control contacted the New York tower, they got a perplexing reply. Flight 914 just disappeared from the radars in midair.
What?
Everything indicated that the plane was lost. Apart from having vanished from the radars, air traffic control couldn't get through to the pilots with the radio.
Jeez, that's so terrifying.
Okay, you know what happened? I figured it out already. Someone hijacked the plane, turned off the communications and the tracking, then they flew it off and they stole the 57 people and enslaved them on a random island. There you go.
There's no way that people are gonna take over a plane without getting a distress signal, right?
Dude, you never know. What about if they like just line the shot up perfectly, like shot the pilot?
Yeah. Oh, true. Okay, I'm ready to see. I want to
Yeah.
see what happens. I'm actually
Or
so
simply
curious.
vanished into thin air, leaving no trace of itself or any of the people on board. Investigation was started right away.
I'm interested by the fact that
flight
it
route
lands
took the plane
37
over a
years
part
late,
of the
apparently.
Atlantic Ocean, and it seemed
Yeah.
that the only explanation of its vanishing was that it crashed somewhere along the way.
Somewhere.
Rescue teams
Okay.
were deployed. The Coast Guard was scanning the waters, but
It's a
still
lifesaver,
no
bro.
luck.
That's
Yeah,
the
he's gonna
rescue
get the whole
So
plane
the
out.
lost plane was to be found. Investigators could only shrug their shoulders in dismay.
They don't care. They're like,
61
ah,
passengers
lost
plus the
60
crew
people.
just
Who cares?
blinked out of existence, along with a huge flying machine. Eventually, although the case was never really solved, there was an official statement that the plane crashed, taking the lives of everyone on board. But despite numerous and understandable questions from the
Aliens.
grieving relatives, no one could say what really happened to Flight 914.
So they were like, it
until
crashed, but we don't really
37
know if it
years
did or not.
later, at least. Change of scenery. It's now September 9th, 1992, and
Okay.
we're in Caracas, Venezuela. It's
What?
a perfectly normal day for Juan de la Corta, air traffic controller at the Caracas airport. He
Awesome.
turned up at work, made some coffee, and
Hello.
took his seat,
Hello.
overlooking flights. He was giving
Playing
some
some
minor
Minecraft?
comments on a flight in progress when something weird happened. Seemingly out
Some
of
my
rock
God.
music started
a
playing.
new dot
Yeah.
appeared on the radar.
Call of Duty
It was
Zombies.
as if an aircraft had just popped up from nothingness, or as if it had been hiding from the radar and now decided to show up. Either way, it was a strange thing to see near a civil airport, and De La Corta checked the reading several times, thinking at first that it was a mistake. It wasn't, though. The readings were correct, and soon
No
he and his
way.
colleagues were able to see it with their own
What?
eyes.
There's
In
no
less
way.
than 10 minutes, the culprit showed up in the field of vision. At first, it looked to the air traffic control like an ordinary airplane. But as it got closer, they could see that it was, in fact, a very old DC-4
What?
McDonnell Douglas
Dude,
passenger
what?
aircraft, still with propellers instead of modern turbines. Such planes were still in use, but they'd
What is
grown
about to
obsolete
happen, bro?
and mostly replaced by more contemporary ones.
Okay.
But that was
I need to see what happens before I say anything.
The real confusion began when the pilot of the mysterious aircraft contacted the tower and asked in English, "Where are we?" As the one in charge at the
No
time,
shot.
Juan Delacorte replied they were closing in on the Caracas airport and asked where the flight was headed. There was a pause on the other side, and then the pilot answered, "We are Pan Am Flight 914 headed from New York to Miami, Florida, with a crew of 4 and 57 passengers on board."
What?
This took the
Dude,
air control
what?
completely off guard. What was a Pan Am flight doing 1,100 miles away from its point of destination?
1100.
Dude.
Delacorte was quick to ask a few more questions to the pilot, and what he heard next baffled him. The pilot said his flight was scheduled to land at the Miami airport at 9:55 a.m. on July 2nd, 1955.
No
What?
shot. What am I listening to?
Dude, what? This sounds like a horror movie. Like, if this is real and people don't talk about this, what?
Yeah.
I don't like this. This is like giving me goosebumps. This is, I'm not,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of this, bro.
Asking anything else. Not to
Was this
make
uploaded like
matters
April
worse,
Fools or
Air
something?
Control cleared the plane for landing. Delacorte didn't know what to make of the pilot's words. Perhaps he thought he went insane, but that was irrelevant since there were people on board the mystery airplane. He had to make sure they landed safely and decided he would ask questions when they did. Ground units were immediately called to assist the plane and the passengers, and it landed without
Did they
trouble.
age?
Having relaxed a little bit, Juan
I'm
finally
so
decided to
lost,
ask something
bro.
that bothered him.
Me too.
Did you know today is May 21st, 1992? Another pause that ensued told him it was a huge mistake to say that. As the ground crew approached the
What?
airplane, the pilot's bewildered voice on the radio said, "What are you talking about?" When Delacorte heard that, he knew he would have to order security guards to go to the plane and escort the passengers and the crew. However, as they were moving towards the aircraft, the pilot did something nobody expected.
Don't tell me the plane just blows
Juan
up.
heard the flight captain's panicking voice saying, "No, stay away. We're leaving now."
What?
Indeed, he started the engines again.
What?
and, without waiting for takeoff clearance, taxied
Nah.
the plane to the
Nah,
runway.
nah.
Juan tried to stop
Blow it
him
up.
over the radio,
This didn't happen.
telling
This
him
didn't
he was
happen.
creating a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
But the pilot didn't respond. He simply drove to the runway, accelerated, and took off. For some time, the plane could be seen in the air. Soon, it only appeared as a dot on the radar, and then it vanished again. No words could describe the shock Juan Delacorte and his colleagues at the air control tower were in. They had just seen an old airplane appearing out of nowhere, the pilot telling them he was headed to Miami, and before they could do anything, it flew away again, only to disappear in thin air like it had been a collective hallucination.
What?
No trace was found of that plane ever again, and to this day, no one can explain what happened that morning in Caracas.
Dude.
Smell that? Smells kind of fishy, right? I
Oh.
must say, though, there's
Don't
much
hit me with
dispute
this.
about the credibility of this
Wait, is he about to say it's like April Fool? Have we missed something? Like, I don't know, dude.
event.
My mind
in
is going
1985,
insane.
I don't
dude.
like this.
Called
What about if it
Weekly
lands
World
like 100
News
years
was
from
the
now?
first to cover this story. And yes, I just said 1985, 7 years before the most popular version appeared. Later, the same newspaper retold the story twice more, only with other details, and with 1992 set as the date of the time-traveling aircraft appearing in the future. The picture of Juan
What?
Delacorte, the air traffic controller in Caracas, also differed from the 1985 original, so the story was largely announced fake, and it became sort of an urban legend. However, the legend still lives, and many sources retell it in their own way.
So it's
Some even
fake.
go as far as to say that the passengers of the plane eventually returned to their homes, and strangely, none of them looked a day older than 37 years prior, while everyone
So,
they knew grew old at a
The
human
plane,
pace. They say
the
doctors
plane
examined the
did
pilot.
disappear, but it returning
Was
is
fake.
fake.
Yeah, well, bro, there's no way that a plane lands 37 years late. Like, what? I don't know, but what about, dude, what about if old mate knows that it's not fake? Like, you know, like the man that reported it, he knows it's not
Yeah.
fake. And he's like begging for everyone to believe him. He's like, please, like, I swear. Like, I don't know, dude. There's always a way. There's always a way. Who knows?
The crew and the passengers, but couldn't find anything out of the ordinary. The people were healthy. Now this part doesn't look even remotely credible though, because no solid piece of evidence can be found about 61 people returning from a decades-long flight. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. Wouldn't they have run out of snacks? One thing that keeps popping up on the internet and piquing the interest of paranormal enthusiasts is a small pocket calendar that somehow was left on the Caracas airport runway when the notorious plane took off.
No
The thing
shot.
about it is that it's from 1955
Okay, dude.
and allegedly remains the only artifact of that weird encounter. There are still people who claim
How does a
the calendar
calendar
is
fall
real.
out of a
Once
plane?
Yeah,
again,
the
there's
door's
no
never
actual
open.
proof of its existence. Ah, well, who knows? Maybe it's just a tall tale, an urban legend indeed.
Bro, a
Or
calendar
it
can't
could
just
be
fall out of a
huge
plane.
Conspiracy to hide the fact that time travel is possible. I guess we'll never know. Wink, wink. And what do you think? Was Flight 914 really lost in time for 37 years?
Okay, well, can we just say something? It's definitely been lost for more than that now. It's more like 57 years or something. But dude, there's no way it just randomly appears 37 years and is still working perfectly fine. Like that's, I don't know, man. If that happens, then maybe we are living in a simulation. Maybe that was a little bit of a glitch, huh? We'll never know.
Listen, either my life is a lie and nothing matters, or this story's bullshit. Regardless, I couldn't care less.
That was entertaining. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good story, nonetheless.
Yeah, that was interesting. All right, well, I mean, on that note, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the very next video. Peace.